In agribusiness today, farmers can't get a crop in the ground without first spending money on inputs. Seed, fuel, fertilizer, all go into calculating the bottom line. This morning, Al Pell and Richard Brock start sharpening their pencils for 2013.
Richard Brock, Brock Associates, is our guest here on Ag Day. And Richard, one of the things that I was thinking about as we've been doing some of our interviews, and that is the cost of producing a crop. I'm talking about inputs. It doesn't have to be a crop. It also be livestock or whatever. It costs more than it used to.
Yeah, and that's going to continue to go up, I'm afraid. It was interesting. About 3 weeks ago, Al, we sent out a what we call a Brock Electronic Seminar. It's a PowerPoint we sent over to our clients, and to talk more specifically about marketing strategies and outlook. And in one of the slides, I mentioned that we probably will see plant corn acres jump from the current 96.5 million acres up to at least 98 million acres next spring. And one of our farmer customers in Illinois sent me an email back, and he said, you know, where do you think you're going to get the seed corn to plant 98 million acres of corn? Because he said, where we are, the seed corn crop looks horrific. And it does in most parts of Indiana too. There's some better looking seed corn crops in Iowa. And so we know the seed corn crop is going to be down here, but we also know that seed companies always go down and grow it in the off season in South America. So, you know, I'm not concerned about having ample seed to plant next year's crop, but it's going to cost more. Also, you're going to see an increased demand for fertilizer and thus increased prices of fertilizer. And you know, the only thing that could slow that down is the volatility of the energy markets, which has been all over everywhere in recent weeks. If energy prices continue lower, then your cost of producing some forms of fertilizer are going to be less, particularly anhydrous ammonia and nitrogen. But if you don't see a further break in the energy market, then and combined with the demand that we're seeing in fertilizer right now, going into this fall, we could see some higher fertilizer prices. So, you know, we told our clients a few weeks ago to, you know, go ahead and get their fertilizer needs and their diesel fuel needs locked in, because, you know, I think it's a very hard market to predict, but I make a decision like that based, you know, what's my potential of it getting cheaper versus my risk of it getting higher. It might get a little bit cheaper, but I think I have more risk on the upside than I do potential on the downside. So when I'm faced with a business decision like that, I just go ahead and buy it and say, if it gets a little bit cheaper, so what? I don't want to run the risk of this thing spiking to the upside.
Doesn't sound like anything's going to go down at all.
Eventually it will. It always does. But.
Okay. Richard Brock, Brock Associates, our guest here on Ag Day. Back for more in a moment.
For a free 3-week trial to the Brock Report, call 1-800-558-3431. See for yourself why thousands of farmers subscribe to the Brock Report.